Commander Kate Bishop stood at the large window of Earth Defense Fleet headquarters and watched the stars. She had joined the Space Force 15 years ago, when humans had just started to explore Mars. Now she was watching an alien ship enter Earth, orbit for the first time in human history. The ship was beautiful, long, and curved like a leaf with lights that changed color as it moved closer. Kate had seen many strange things in space, but nothing like this. Her hands shook as she turned to face the room of military leaders and government officials. "We need to be careful," she said. Everyone was excited about aliens coming to Earth, but Kate felt something was wrong in her gut. "The ship is too perfect. It feels like bait." General Hansen shook, his head Kate always looking for trouble. "These aliens crossed galaxies to meet us. They could destroy us easily if they wanted to. We need to welcome them, not act scared." Kate knew he was right in one way. Earth ships were small and slow compared to what they saw on their screens. The aliens could probably wipe out humanity if they wanted to. But why come at all if they were so advanced? What did Earth have that they wanted? The world leaders decided to welcome the aliens with open arms. Kate was ordered to be part of the greeting team along with scientists, politicians, and cultural experts. They gathered at a large open field where the alien ship would land. The ship touched down without a sound. The grass below it did not even bend. A door appeared in the smooth side and 5 tall beings stepped out. They glowed with soft blue light and moved like water flowing. Their faces had no mouths, but somehow Kate heard words in her mind. "We are the Alhyrans. We bring peace and friendship to Earth. We represent the galactic coalition of 5,000 worlds. We have watched your planet for many years and believe you are ready to join us." Kate stood stiff as the alien called Selith approached her. The alien was at least 7 feet tall, with 4 arms and skin that seemed to shift color slightly as it moved. Kate felt her mind being touched somehow, as if the alien was reading her thoughts. "You are a warrior," Selith said in her mind. Kate felt cold at how easily the alien had known. "This, yes," she answered. "I protect Earth." Selith made a movement like nodding. The Alhyran seemed pleased. "We have few warriors in our coalition. Most species grow beyond the need for fighting as they advance. We find your kind interesting. You are what we call a Category 3 development world, still new to space, but with much potential." The aliens were invited to meet with Earth governments. Kate followed them to every meeting, watching carefully, while politicians asked about trade and technology. Kate noticed the aliens kept steering conversations toward Earth history, especially wars during a break. Kate found Dr. Olivia Winters, a brain scientist who was studying the aliens. Kate pulled her aside into an empty room. "Have you noticed anything strange about them?" Kate asked. Olivia looked around as if checking for listeners. "Yes, their brain patterns change when we talk about wars. They say they have no weapons, but they get excited when we mention our military history." "I recorded unusual energy spikes." Kate nodded. "I knew something was off. They keep asking about how humans fight. They want to know about our strategies. They act like they have no interest in war, but they keep circling back to it." Later that day, Kate gave the aliens a tour of the small space station that protected Earth. The station was simple, with a few defensive weapons and monitoring systems. Nothing that would impress a species that could travel between stars. As they walked through a restricted area, saw one of the Alhyrans touch a wall with a small device. The wall held plans for Earth defense systems. Kate stepped closer. "What are you doing?" she asked. The Alhyran Selith turned smoothly. "That was just a cultural misunderstanding. Our friend was taking readings of your metal compounds. We are curious about your building methods." Kate did not believe this, but she smiled and continued the tour. That night she checked the security logs. Someone had used her access code to open military files. While she was sleeping, Kate knew she had not done this. The next morning she found Olivia and told her what happened. The neurologist looked worried. "I have been scanning their brain patterns, Kate. They show unusual activity when discussing Earth weapons. The patterns match what we see in humans who are planning something, not what we see in those sharing knowledge." Just then, a young officer named Amy ran up to them. "Commander Bishop," she said quietly, "I was monitoring communications last night. I caught A transmission from the alien ship to somewhere far away. It was mostly scrambled, but I heard this human martial tendency confirmed. Proceed with extraction protocol. Kate felt her skin go cold. She looked at Olivia, whose face had gone pale. We need to alert General Hansen, Kate said. But we need proof first, or no one will believe us against these perfect aliens who promise to share the secrets of the universe. Olivia nodded. We have 3 days before the treaty signing. I can gather more data on their brain patterns. You watch their movements. We meet again tomorrow. As Kate walked back to her quarters, she saw Salith watching her from across the hallway. The alien raised one of its 4 hands in greeting, but Kate felt no warmth from the gesture. She nodded stiffly and continued walking in her room. Kate pulled out old military manuals her father had given her. Earth might be new to space travel, but humans knew about war. And Kate had a feeling that knowledge would be needed soon. As she flipped through the pages, she wondered what the aliens really wanted from Earth, and why they seemed so interested in how humans fought. Something told Kate that Earth was not just a simple backwater planet to these aliens. They were hiding something. And Kate was going to find out what it was before the treaty was signed. She just hoped she would have enough time. Lieutenant Maya Reeves sat in the dark room filled with screens showing space around Earth. She had worked at Deep Space Monitoring Station 6 for 3 years. Her job was to watch for signals from far away. Most days were quiet, but today something was wrong. The Alheran supply ships always came on the same days at the same times. They were never late, they were never early. But today the pattern had changed. 3 ships had arrived too soon, and they had moved to strange positions around Earth. Maya looked closer at her screens. Something else was wrong too. Small energy spikes appeared at the edge of the solar system. They would flash for a moment, then vanish before she could track them. She tried to call her boss, Commander Chen, but the communication system was having problems. She had been trying to report the strange ships for hours. Maya had always been different. Her brain worked in unusual ways. Military doctors had called it tactical hyper-awareness. She saw patterns others missed. She could predict what would happen next in complex situations. Most people thought this was strange, but last year, a secret military program called Sentinel had contacted her. They said her brain was special. They wanted to study how she thought Maya looked. At the screens again. The pattern was clear to her. The Alherans were hiding ships around Earth, many more than they had admitted to. She needed to tell someone. But who would believe her? Everyone loved the aliens. They had brought medicine and technology. People would think she was crazy. Just then her screen beeped. A message appeared from an Earth diplomatic ship returning from the Alheran homeworld. But something was strange about it. The message was hidden inside routine data Maya would have missed it if her brain did not notice patterns so well. She opened the hidden file. Urgent warning. Alheran's hostile Earth classified as dormant alpha predator species coalition. Fears human war capabilities. Strategic humans being collected stealth platforms. Deployed solar system-wide contact Sentinel program. Immediately message from Admiral Kate Bishop. Maya felt cold all over. Admiral Bishop was the hero who had welcomed the Alherans. She had been taken to their homeworld as an honored guest. If she was sending warning messages, something was very wrong. Maya tried the communication system again. Still broken. She decided to leave her post. This message was too important. She had to get it to someone who would understand. She downloaded the message to her personal device and left the station. The night was cold as she walked to her small car. She drove fast toward the city where she knew there was a Sentinel office. As she drove, she noticed something strange. More Alheran cultural centers had been built near the military base. She had not seen construction vehicles or workers, but suddenly there were 3 new buildings. They all had strange equipment on their roofs. Maya parked her car 2 blocks from the Sentinel office and walked the streets were quiet, too quiet for a weeknight. Where was everyone? She saw lights in the Alheran Cultural Center. Many people were inside watching some kind of presentation. She hurried to the Sentinel office but found it closed. A sign said they had moved to a new location across town. Maya kicked the door in frustration. Now what? A voice spoke from the shadows. You should not be here. Lieutenant Reeves. Maya turned quickly, ready to fight. A woman stepped into the light. She was older, maybe 60, with short gray hair and sharp eyes. "Who are you?" Maya asked Dr. Diane Foster. The woman showed an ID card from a university I was invited to visit the Alheran homeworld, but I said no. Something felt wrong about them. Now I know I was right. "How do you know my name?" Maya asked, still suspicious. Diane smiled sadly. "You are on a list, Lieutenant A. List of humans with special brain patterns. The Alherans are very interested in people like you." Maya relaxed slightly but stayed alert. "Did you work with Sentinel? No?" Diane shook her head. "I study alien psychology. At least I tried to before we met real aliens. I warned the government that any species that evolved without predators would view humans as dangerous. Our history is full of violence. We developed strategy and tactics because we had to fight to survive. A peaceful species would find that terrifying." Maya showed Diane her device with the hidden message. "I need to get this to someone important. Sentinel is gone. Admiral Bishop says the Alherans are hostile." Diane read the message, her face growing pale. "We need to move," she said quickly. "They are monitoring communications. They probably know you found this. Follow me. I have a secure location." They walked through back streets, avoiding the main roads where Alheran centers had been built. Finally, they reached a small house on the edge of town. "This is safe," Diane said. "We can talk here." Inside. Maya was surprised to find advanced communication equipment hidden behind fake walls. "Are you a spy?" Maya asked. Diane laughed. "No, just prepared. I never trusted the Alherans. They were too perfect, too helpful. My research suggested any advanced species would see humans as a threat. Our capacity for war is unusual in the galaxy." Maya connected her device to Diane's equipment. "We need to find others who will believe us as." Diane worked the equipment. An alert sounded. Someone was coming. Maya looked out the window and saw 3 human shapes approaching, but they moved strangely. Too smooth. Too coordinated. "They are not human," Maya said. "They move like Alherans." Diane quickly gathered equipment. "We have a back exit," she said. "Grab everything important." They slipped out the back door. As the front door opened, Maya heard strange humming sounds as they ran through the garden behind them. The house lit up with flashing lights. They reached Diane's car and drove away fast. "Where can we go?" Maya asked. "Everyone trusts the Alherans. I know someone who might help." Diane said a former military officer named Grace Sullivan. Before first contact, she led a government program studying how aliens might think. Her theory was that any peaceful spacefaring species would see humans as dangerous predators as they drove. Maya noticed more Alheran cultural centers being built. All near important places: military bases, power plants, government buildings. They were positioning themselves everywhere. Diane drove to a farm outside the city. An old farmhouse stood surrounded by empty fields. It looked abandoned, but Maya noticed small cameras hidden in the trees. Diane parked and flashed the car lights in a pattern. 1 long, 2 short, 3 long. The front door of the farmhouse opened. An elderly woman stood there. She had white hair and used a cane, but her eyes were sharp and alert. "Come in quickly," she said. No time to waste. Inside the farmhouse, Maya was surprised again. What looked old and abandoned from outside was high-tech. Inside, screens showed satellite images. Communications equipment hummed. Grace Sullivan might be old, but she was not. Retired, so they finally showed their hand. Grace said, looking at the message on Maya's device, "I warned them 20 years ago. Any species that evolved without predators would see us as wolves among sheep." "What do they want?" Maya asked. "Why pretend to be our friends?" "They want our war knowledge," Grace said. "Humans are special in the galaxy. We evolved fighting. We created strategy and tactics to survive. Our brains can think about conflict in ways theirs cannot. They fear us, but they also want to understand us. They have been taking our best military minds, studying them. Why not just destroy us?" Diane asked. "They have better technology." Grace smiled. "Because they are not sure they can. They fear what they call the war code. It is not a real code. It is how humans think. We adapt under pressure. We find new ways to fight when old ways fail. No other species does this as well as humans do. They want to study us before they decide what to do with us. Suddenly, alarms sounded throughout the farmhouse. Grace moved quickly to a computer. Something is happening, she said. Look. The screen showed Alheran cultural centers around the world, all activating at once. Strange energy fields spreading out from each one. They are making their move. Grace said, "Those centers are not cultural. They are control points. The fields will disable our communications and defense systems." "What can we do?" Maya asked. "We have no weapons that can fight them." Grace looked at her with serious eyes. "We do have weapons, Lieutenant. Special defenses hidden around the world. A program called War Code was created long ago, in case Earth ever faced a threat like this." Maya gasped. "You mean, we knew this might happen?" "Not this exactly," Grace said. "But we prepared for something like it. War Code contains humanity's accumulated war knowledge, weapons too dangerous for everyday use. And it is hidden in places the Alhirans would never think to look." Grace went to a painting on the wall and moved it aside. Behind it was an old-fashioned safe. She opened it and took out a small metal box. Inside was a simple key. "This will activate the nearest War Code terminal." Grace said, "I cannot go with you. I am too old to run, but you two can. Diane knows about alien psychology. You, Maya, have the special brain patterns the Alhirans fear together. You might have a chance. Where is the terminal?" Maya asked. Grace gave her a map 20 miles north, she said. "Underground in an old missile silo. It will look abandoned, but it is not. The key will open." Just then the farmhouse lights flickered and went out. Emergency lights came on, bathing everything in red. "They found us," Grace said. "You need to go now. Take the back tunnel. It leads to a garage with a vehicle. They will not detect. Follow these coordinates." She handed Maya a paper with numbers on it. "Once you reach the terminal, use the key. The system will tell you what to do." "What about you?" Diane asked. "We cannot leave you. I have my own mission." Grace smiled. "I need to activate other terminals around the world now. Go." Maya and Diane ran to the back of the farmhouse. Grace opened a hidden door in the floor. A tunnel stretched into darkness. The Alheran trap closed suddenly. All Earth ships in space lost power at the same time. Alien ships appeared from hiding spots throughout the solar system. On Earth, the cultural centers activated strange energy fields, cutting communications and defense systems. Ambassador Seleth spoke to world leaders with a new voice. No longer friendly, but cold and efficient. "Your species is too dangerous for the galaxy. Your ability to make war exceeds safety limits for civilized worlds. We regret the lies, but control measures are necessary." In the War Code Command Center, Maya watched as Alheran forces landed near major cities. They moved with perfect coordination, taking control of strategic locations. No shots were fired. The aliens used technology, not weapons. Their ships created energy fields that stopped all electronics. Their soldiers wore suits that could not be harmed by human weapons. "What can we do?" Diane asked. "They control space. They disable our weapons. They outnumber our remaining forces." Maya studied the screens showing Alheran movements. A pattern was forming. They took control of military bases first, then communication centers, then government buildings. They were following a perfect plan, too perfect. Their strategy has no backup plan. Maya said suddenly, "They expect us to follow normal military response. They predict we will protect cities and governments first. They expect us to fight in ways they understand." The War Code system beeped. A message appeared. "Connecting to global network, detecting active nodes." Screens lit up, showing other War Code facilities around the world, each one activated by someone like Maya. Someone with the special brain patterns the Alherans feared. A network of humans who thought differently. Maya spoke clearly to the system. "Connect me to all active nodes." The screens changed, showing faces, people of different ages and backgrounds, all with the same determined look. Some wore military uniforms, others civilian clothes, but all had the same unusual mind that could see patterns in chaos. This is Lieutenant Maya Reeves at North American Node 7. She said the Alhyrans have begun their attack. They control space and are taking ground positions. They expect us to fight conventionally. We cannot win that way. We need to think differently. A man in Australia nodded. They move in perfect formation. No variation. No adaptation. A woman in Russia added, they disable our advanced technology, but they ignore our old equipment. They think it is harmless. An older man in Brazil smiled. We have an advantage. They cannot predict what they do not understand. They evolved without predators, without the need to adapt quickly under threat. We did not. Maya felt hope growing. These people understood. They saw what? She saw the Alhyrans had superior technology and numbers, but they had a weakness. They could not think like humans. They could not adapt quickly when plans failed. Maya accessed the war code database. It contained centuries of human military knowledge, not just weapons but strategies, tactics, ways of thinking that had evolved through countless human conflicts. We need to use what they ignore. Maya said, old technology, simple tools, things they consider harmless. They expect us to use our most advanced weapons. But those are the ones they can disable. She outlined her plan. Operation Thunderbird. Simultaneous strikes against Alhyran communication nodes using converted mining equipment, weather satellites and civilian aircraft, retrofitted with war code designs. The strikes would not destroy the Alhyrans but would disrupt their perfect coordination. The others added their ideas, modifications, improvements. Each person seeing angles, the others missed. Together their plan grew stronger, more unexpected, more human as Maya worked. She noticed something strange in the war code database. Information about the Alhyrans, things no human should know. Details about their ships, their biology, their technology. Where did this come from? She asked. Diane studied the files. Admiral Bishop, she said. She must have uploaded data before she was captured. Look at the dates. These files arrived 3 days ago. Maya read quickly, learning about their enemy. The Alhyrans were a hive mind species, each individual connected. To the others, their technology was biological, not mechanical. They communicated through energy fields similar to human brain waves. They were powerful, but they had weaknesses. Their ships needed to maintain connection to the hive. They could not operate independently for long. Their perfect coordination was their strength but also their vulnerability. Maya returned to the main screen. The others waited for her orders. Ready, she asked. They all nodded. Begin Operation Thunderbird. She said strike. In 30 minutes, across the world, war code teams prepared. Old equipment was modified. Simple tools became weapons. Mining drills were converted to disrupt Alhyran energy fields. Weather control systems were reprogrammed to create electromagnetic pulses. Civilian aircraft were equipped with devices that could interfere with alien communications. The Alhyrans never saw it coming. They expected submission. They expected humans to use their best weapons to protect their most important places. Instead, humans attacked with tools the aliens had dismissed as harmless. They struck communication nodes, not cities. They targeted connections, not individuals. The first sign that something was wrong came when an Alhyran ship near Australia suddenly changed course, crashing into another. The perfect formation broke. Ship collided with ship on the ground. Alhyran soldiers stopped moving in unison. Some froze. Some wandered in circles. The hive connection is breaking, Maya said. Keep pushing. The war code. Teams launched the second phase. Mining equipment. Deep underground created vibrations that disrupted alien energy fields. Civilian power grids were modified to pulse in patterns that confused Alhyran systems. Old radio stations broadcast signals that interfered with their communications. In orbit, Kate Bishop and Olivia Winters watched from their prison on the Alhyran command ship. Something was happening. The aliens were moving frantically, no longer calm and controlled. The ship rocked as systems failed. They did it. Kate said they activated. War Code Olivia looked out the window at Earth below. Who did? Kate smiled. The sleepers. People with special strategic minds. People who think like warriors. The Alhirans fear them for a reason. On the command deck, Selith, the Alhiran ambassador, was panicking. How are they doing this? He demanded. They have no weapons that can harm us. Their technology is disabled. Their military is contained. An Alhiran technician responded. The attacks come from unexpected sources: mining equipment, weather systems, old communication technology. We ignored these. They seemed harmless. Selith hissed in anger. They adapt. They change tactics. We did not predict this. Increase control field. Strength. Cut all communication with the surface. But it was too late. Human attacks had already damaged key systems. The control fields weakened. Gaps appeared in the Alhiran defense network. Maya saw the opportunity. Form strike team, she ordered to the global network. Use the gaps in their defenses. Target their primary ships. Focus on breaking their communication structure. Around the world, humans moved into action. Military forces using old equipment that still worked. Civilian vehicles converted to new purposes. All striking through the gaps in the alien defense. They did not attack with force but with disruption. They did not try to destroy the aliens but to confuse them. The Alhirans had never faced an enemy like this. One that adapted faster than they could analyze.
One that used failure as a stepping stone, not an end. One that seemed to grow stronger when cornered. In the War Code Command Center, Maya watched as the pattern of battle shifted. The perfect Alhiran formations broke apart. Their coordinated attacks
became random. Their strategic withdrawal became chaotic flight. They do not know how to fight without perfect information. Maya realized they cannot adapt to confusion. They need to understand to respond. Diane was working at another console. She had been studying the Alhiran data Kate had sent. She looked up, excited. Maya, I found something. The Alhiran ships. They use a specific energy frequency to maintain connection with each other. If we could disrupt that frequency. Maya nodded, studying the information. This is it. This is how we break their control. Look for old communication satellites. They use frequencies close to this. We can modify them to interfere. The War Code system calculated quickly. Suitable platforms found: 24 weather satellites, 15 communication satellites, 7 orbital telescopes. Modification plans. Ready. Maya gave the order. Activate all platforms. Target Alhiran command ships. In orbit, old satellites changed their broadcast patterns. Their signals combined, creating interference that cut through Alhiran defenses. The alien ships began to drift apart, their perfect formation collapsing. On the ground, Alhiran soldiers stopped moving, their connection to the hive broken. They stood frozen like statues in their prison cell. Kate and Olivia felt the ship shake violently, systems failing, lights flickering. The door to their cell opened as the lock system failed. We need to get to the command deck, Kate said. Now, while they are confused, they ran through corridors passing Alhirans, too distracted to stop them. They reached the command deck, finding Selith trying desperately to regain control. Stop this, Kate demanded, or we will destroy your entire fleet. Selith turned, his glowing form dimmer than before. This is impossible, he said. You are a primitive species. Your technology is basic. Your military thinking is simple. Kate smiled. That is what you do not understand. We are not simple. We are survivors. We evolved fighting not just enemies but nature itself. We learned to adapt because we had to. We turn weaknesses into strengths. We find ways to win when we should lose. That is the War Code. That is humanity. 6 months had passed since the Alhirans arrived on Earth. Most humans were happy with the new friendship. The aliens had given Earth medicine that cured many diseases. They shared technology that let ships travel faster than light, and they invited thousands of humans to visit their worlds. Kate Bishop had been promoted to admiral despite her concerns about the aliens. Her bosses said it was to reward her work, but Kate knew it was really to keep her quiet. She had tried to warn them about the strange messages and the alien interest in human wars, but no one listened. They were too excited about the new gifts. Kate watched as another group of humans left Earth for the Alhiran worlds. This time she had a plan. She had convinced her bosses. to let her go with them as a security officer. Dr. Olivia Winters was going too as a science helper, but their real mission was secret. They wanted to learn what the Alhirans were hiding. "We leave tomorrow," Olivia said, as they met in a quiet park away. "From any listening devices, I packed the scanner you made. It looks like a normal medical tool, but it can read their computer systems." Kate nodded. "Good. I have a feeling we will find something important out there. Remember our cover story? We are just excited to learn about alien culture." The next day, they boarded a large Alhiran ship with 500 other humans. The ship was beautiful inside, with rooms that changed color based on the mood of the person inside. Kate noticed there were no locks on any doors. The aliens did not seem to believe in privacy. The journey took 3 weeks. During that time, Kate and Olivia watched the Alhirans closely. The aliens were always polite, always helpful, but Kate noticed they separated the humans who had military backgrounds from the others. These humans were given special tours and asked many questions about Earth defense systems. When they arrived at Velsari, the Alhiran homeworld, Kate was stunned. The planet was covered in beautiful cities that floated above the ground. Plants and animals lived in harmony with the buildings. Nothing seemed to harm anything else. It was perfect. "Almost too perfect, our hosts have prepared a schedule for us," said the human guide who worked for the aliens. "Each of you will see the parts of our culture that match your interests." Kate and Olivia were taken to what the aliens called a historical archive, a building filled with information about thousands of planets and species. "This section contains information about Earth," said their Alhiran guide. "You may find it interesting to see how we view your world." When the guide left them alone, Kate and Olivia began looking through the displays. They showed human art, music, and science. But Kate noticed something strange. There were many detailed studies of human wars from ancient battles to modern conflicts. One sealed section was marked Dormant Species Threat Assessment. That night, Olivia used her hidden scanner to hack into the archive system. "We need to see what is in that sealed section," she whispered. The scanner can copy their data without them knowing. What they found shocked them. Earth was not listed as a Category 3 development world as the aliens had told them. Instead, it was marked as a dormant alpha predator species. The file explained that humans had evolved as warmakers with brain pathways designed for fighting. Most species in the galaxy had evolved through cooperation. Not competition, the Alhiran coalition was not offering friendship to Earth. They were carefully studying human military knowledge while moving important military thinkers off-planet. According to the files, Earth had something called the War Code, an ability to think about war and strategy that terrified the coalition. "This explains everything," Kate said. "They are scared of us, not because of our technology, but because of how our minds work. They think we are dangerous." Olivia looked up from the scanner with fear in her eyes. "There is more," she said. "The humans who came here before us, they are not coming back. They are being kept in special facilities and studied. The coalition has also put hidden weapons around Earth, not to protect us, but to trap us if needed." Kate felt cold anger growing inside. "We need to get this information back to Earth," she said. "But first we need to learn more about their plans." The next day they followed their normal tour schedule but watched more carefully. Kate noticed that all the humans with military backgrounds were being taken to different buildings than the others. She managed to place a small tracking device on one man, who had been a general. That night the tracker showed the man was taken to an underground facility 10 miles from their hotel. "We need to see what happens there," Kate said. "But we cannot be caught. Olivia, use your scanner to find us a way in through their computer systems." Olivia worked through the night. Finally, she found a maintenance tunnel that would take them near the facility. But as she was closing the system, a message appeared on the screen. "Warning, unauthorized access detected, security protocols activated. We need to move. Now," Kate said. "They know someone was in their system. It will not take them long to find us." They packed quickly, taking only the scanner and the data they had collected. As they prepared to find the maintenance tunnel, Alarms began to sound throughout the building. Attention, Earth visitors. Please remain in your quarters. A small security matter is being addressed. Kate looked at Olivia. We cannot wait. They will check all the rooms soon. Is there another way out? Olivia pointed to the window. We are only on the 3rd floor. The Alhyrans do not expect anyone to jump. Their gravity is stronger than ours, but we should be able to make it. Kate nodded and opened the window. The drop looked far, but she had no choice. They needed to get back to Earth with their information. They jumped, landing hard but safely in a garden below. As they ran toward the maintenance tunnel entrance, Kate saw Alhyran security forces entering the hotel. They did not have much time. They found the tunnel and followed it toward the facility where the human general had been taken. The tunnel was dark and smelled strange, but they kept moving. After an hour, they reached a grate that looked down into a large room. Below them was a laboratory. Humans were connected to machines that seemed to be scanning their brains. Kate recognized several top military strategists from Earth. They did not look harmed, but they were clearly being studied. Next to the lab was a communication center. Kate could see maps of Earth with strange markings all over them. One map showed the locations of all human military bases with notes. Beside each one, another showed the names and locations of thousands of humans marked as strategic assets. These are targets, Olivia whispered. They are identifying everyone on Earth who has special military thinking. They plan to take them all, just. Then Kate heard voices coming from the tunnel behind them. We need to go, she said. They are coming. They ran back the way they had come, but took a different turn, hoping to find a way to the surface. Instead, they found themselves in a large chamber, filled with small ships, emergency vehicles, Olivia said, looking at her scanner. They are used for fast travel on the planet. Can you fly one? Kate asked. Olivia studied her scanner. The controls are simple. Similar to the simulators they let us try, I think. They climbed into the smallest ship and Olivia worked the controls. The ship hummed to life and rose from the floor. As alarms began to sound, Kate saw a door in the ceiling open. Automatically, go, Olivia. Now Kate urged. The ship shot upward through the door and into the night sky of Velsari. Below them, lights flashed as Alhyran security forces filled the chamber they had just left. We need to find a way to send a message to Earth, Kate said. The Alhyrans are not our friends. They are studying us because they fear us and they are preparing to contain us if we ever discover the truth. Olivia piloted the small ship higher into the clouds, heading for space. We cannot reach Earth from here, she said, but I know where we can send a message. There is an Earth ship scheduled to leave Velsari tomorrow with diplomatic messages. If we can reach the spaceport, we might be able to hide our data on that ship. As they flew toward the spaceport, Olivia checked her scanner. The Alhyrans are sending ships after us, she said. They will catch us before we reach the port. Kate looked out the window at the beautiful alien world below, a world ruled by beings who saw humans as dangerous animals that needed to be controlled. Then she noticed something on the control panel. What is this button? She asked, pointing to a red symbol. Olivia looked at her scanner. Emergency distress beacon, she said. It will call all nearby Alhyran ships to our location. Kate smiled. That gives me an idea. Press it. Olivia pressed the button. The small ship sent out a powerful signal. Within minutes, the screen showed dozens of Alhyran vessels changing course to help them. Now fly toward the Earth diplomatic ship. Kate said, when we get close enough, we will send our data. Then, we turn away and lead these helpers on a chase. The Earth ship can leave with our message while the Alhyrans are busy following us. Olivia nodded and changed course. The small ship raced toward the spaceport with a growing fleet of Alhyran vessels behind it. When they got close enough, Olivia used her scanner to send a tight beam transmission to the Earth ship. Message sent. She confirmed. Now we run. She turned the ship sharply away from the spaceport and accelerated. The Alhyran ships followed, just as Kate had planned. As they raced through the alien sky, Kate wondered if their message would reach Earth in time. She did not know what the Alhyrans planned next, but she knew one thing. The Coalition had made a mistake. They had underestimated humans, and that was going to cost them. The war that followed was unlike any in human history. Earth did not fight with big weapons or large armies. They fought with strategy and surprise. They used old technology in new ways. They changed tactics faster than the Alhirans could respond. 2 months after the first attack, Maya stood in the new Earth Defense Command Center, converted from a war code facility. The walls were covered with screens showing battles across the solar system. Humans had taken back most of Earth. But the Alhiran fleet still controlled the outer planets. Admiral Kate Bishop appeared on the main screen. Her uniform now showed the new Earth Defense Force insignia. "We have good news," she said. "The Jupiter defense line is holding. The modified cargo ships are working." "Better than expected," Maya nodded. The cargo ships had been her idea. Old vessels once used to move goods between Earth and Mars. Now converted with technology, reverse-engineered from Alhiran medical equipment. The ships created gravity disruption, fields that confused alien targeting systems. "What about the prisoners?" Maya asked. Kate looked grave. "We have freed most of the humans who were taken for study, but many are still missing. We believe they were moved deeper into Alhiran territory." Dr. Olivia Winters joined Kate on the screen. "Her research has been critical," Olivia said, "studying the aliens' brain patterns. The Alhirans are a true hive mind. They share thoughts and plans instantly, but this makes them vulnerable to confusion. When we disrupt their connection, they cannot function." Well, Diane, who now led Earth Science Division, added, "We have learned so much from their technology. Their ships use biological components. They grow their vessels, not build them. Their weapons use energy fields, not physical force. They evolved without the concept of physical conflict." Maya turned to a new screen showing the positions of Alhiran reinforcements moving toward Earth. "The enemy is adapting," she said. "They no longer use perfect formations. They spread out. They use unpredictable movements. They are learning from us. That is why our next move is so important," Kate said. "The Coalition believes they are fighting just one dangerous species. But Grace Sullivan found something in the old war code files. Something that changes everything." Grace Sullivan, now recovered from injuries sustained during the first attack, stepped forward, looking stronger than her years. "We are not alone," she said. "The Alhirans have done this before. They classified dozens of species as predators. Species who evolved like us through competition, not cooperation. Species with war instincts. Some were contained, others were kept as ceremonial warriors, others as biological curiosities, but all were denied their rightful place among the stars." Maya felt a chill. "We need to find these other species," she said. "We need allies. That is our plan," Kate said. "But first, we need to get past the Alhiran blockade. We need to reach their communication hub near Saturn. From there, we can send a message to all the systems in the Coalition." The meeting continued as they planned Operation Starbreak, a bold move to break through Alhiran defenses. The key was unpredictability. Humans would not attack with their strongest ships. They would use small, fast vessels, each following different paths. Some would be decoys, others would carry the real strike force, as the others discussed details. Maya noticed something on one of the screens. A pattern in the Alhiran fleet movements. They were positioning ships near Earth magnetic field generators. The aliens were planning something too. Maya pointed this out. The others fell silent, studying the data. "They are targeting our magnetic field," Kate said. "But why? That does not disable our weapons or ships." Diane worked quickly at her console, checking Alhiran data. "The magnetic field?" She gasped. "It protects Earth from solar radiation. Without it, they plan to make Earth uninhabitable. Olivia realized they cannot defeat us in battle, so they will force us to leave our home." The mood in the room darkened. "We need to move faster," Maya said. "Operation Starbreak begins tomorrow. The Saturn communication hub is the key. If we can send our message to other subjugated species, the Coalition will face rebellion on multiple fronts." The next day, Earth forces prepared for battle. The plan was complex intentionally, so the Alhyrans had begun to predict simple strategies. So humans created plans with hundreds of variations. Plans that changed. Based on enemy response, plans within plans, Maya led the command team tracking all Earth forces. Kate and Olivia commanded the main strike force. Their target, the massive communication hub orbiting Saturn. If they could capture it, they could send their message to the stars. The battle began with what seemed like a full attack on the Alhyran blockade. Earthships engaged alien vessels, drawing their attention. Then, as the Alhyrans moved to respond, small, fast ships slipped through gaps in their defenses. These ships carried the strike team. Kate watched from her command ship as they approached Saturn. The giant ringed planet loomed ahead, the communication hub, a gleaming structure orbiting above the rings, protected by energy fields and defense platforms. "This is where it gets difficult," Kate said to her crew. "The Alhyrans will have adapted to our previous tactics. We need something new." Olivia, who had studied Alhyran technology for months, smiled. "I have an idea. Their communication systems use the same frequency as their hive mind connection. What if we broadcast on that frequency? We could create confusion, make them hear things that are not real." Kate nodded. "Make it happen." As they approached the hub, Olivia activated the new system, broadcasting false commands and confusing signals. The effect was immediate. Alhyran ships began moving erratically. Defense platforms fired at shadows. The perfect coordination that made the aliens so powerful became their weakness. The strike team landed on the hub, fighting their way to the control center. The Alhyrans fought back, but their tactics were still too predictable, too perfect. Humans adapted, changing their approach with each new obstacle. While the aliens followed their programming, humans improvised. In Earth orbit, Maya watched the battle through sensor feeds. Everything was going according to plan, then alarms sounded. Alhyrran ships were moving toward Earth magnetic field generators. They had begun their attack. Maya made a quick decision. "Activate Grace Protocol," she ordered. Around the world, hidden human facilities powered up old technology from before the alien contact. Technology the Alhyrans had never seen. Using principles of science the aliens had overlooked, Earth magnetic field began to pulse, changing frequency and strength. The Alhyrran weapons designed to disrupt a stable field could not lock on to the shifting target at the Saturn communication hub. Kate and Olivia reached the control center. The final obstacle was the hub AI, an advanced system that controlled all coalition communications. Olivia connected her equipment to the alien computer. "I can override it," she said. "But they will detect the intrusion almost immediately. We will have only minutes to send our message." Kate nodded. "Do it." Olivia's fingers flew over her controls, hacking into the alien system using knowledge gained from months of studying their technology. The hub resistance collapsed as she found a backdoor in its programming. "We are in," she said. "The system is ours." For now, Kate activated the prepared message, broadcasting on all frequencies in all languages the coalition used. The transmission carried proof of the Alhyrans' deception, evidence of how they had classified and controlled. Dozens of species images and data showing the true history of the coalition. Not a peaceful union, but an empire built on fear and control. Across Alhyrran territory, the message spread. Ships, planets, space stations, all received the truth. The response was immediate. Rebellions erupted across multiple systems. Other contained species recognized their situation and rose up. Alhyrran control began to collapse as they faced enemies on too many fronts. On the hub command deck, alarms sounded. Olivia looked up from her console. "They have locked us out," she said. "But the message is sent. Everyone knows the truth now." Kate smiled. "Then our mission is complete. Even if they stop us now, it is too late. The coalition will never be the same." Back on Earth, Maya watched as the Alhyrran ships attacking the magnetic field suddenly stopped. They received new orders, urgent recall signals, their plans abandoned as they faced crisis across their territory. The Alhyrran Supreme Council sent an emergency message requesting peace talks. Their perfect society was falling apart as hidden truths came to light. They faced rebellion on multiple fronts. They needed to end the Earth conflict to deal with larger problems. 3 days later in Earth orbit, Kate Bishop, now leading, the unified Earth Defense Fleet met with the Alhiran representatives. Their ships no longer perfect, their movements no longer graceful. Their hive mind strained by multiple conflicts. Human terms were simple recognition as equals, the return of all humans taken off-world. The establishment of a new interstellar accord that acknowledged the value of all species, not just the peaceful ones. The Alhirans had no choice but to agree. Their perfect society built on control and deception was crumbling. They needed time to adapt to a new reality, one where they were not the unquestioned rulers of the stars. In the months that followed, Earth forces ventured beyond the solar system. For the first time, Admiral Kate Bishop led the new Earth fleet on missions to contact other formerly suppressed species. Dr. Olivia Winters developed communication methods to help different species understand each other. And Maya Reeves established the Strategic Evolution Academy, where humans and aliens studied, together learning from each other's strengths.